The White House stands at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C., the home of every U.S. president since John Adams. It's a symbol of American power and history, but it's also known as one of the most haunted houses in the country. For over 2 centuries, people have whispered about strange sounds, cold spots, and ghostly figures in its halls. The White House has survived wars, fires, and countless changes, each event leaving its mark. With so much history, it's no wonder some believe spirits linger. These aren't just scary stories, they're woven into the fabric of the White House's legend. Presidents, first ladies, and world leaders have all reported eerie encounters. Imagine walking the same halls as Lincoln or Adams, only to feel a sudden chill or hear a faint whisper. These stories make history feel alive, connecting us to the real people who shaped the nation. The ghosts of the White House remind us that its past is never far away. Is the White House truly haunted? Many who've lived and worked there say yes. Their stories are more than folklore, they're a unique part of America's story. In this video, we'll explore the most famous White House ghost stories and the history behind them. We'll meet the spirits said to still walk its halls long after their time has ended. Welcome to the haunted heart of American history. The first ghost stories began with Abigail Adams, wife of President John Adams. She moved into the unfinished White House in 1800 and famously hung laundry in the East Room. Today, staff and guests report seeing a faint figure in old-fashioned clothes or smelling lavender soap, Abigail's favorite scent. Her gentle spirit is said to still tend to her chores more than 2 centuries later. Unlike frightening ghosts, Abigail's presence is comforting, a reminder that the White House was once a family home. Her story connects us to the earliest days of the presidency, when daily life was filled with simple routines. The scent of lavender or a glimpse of her figure links us to the past in a personal way. Abigail's ghost is a symbol of the First Lady's role in shaping the White House as a home. Her haunting isn't about tragedy, but about the persistence of memory and routine. When people sense her presence, they're reminded of the real lives behind the legends. The story of Abigail Adams is a classic White House ghost tale, gentle, human, and deeply rooted in history. She's not a frightening apparition, but a quiet link to the building's domestic beginnings. Her spirit lingers, reminding us that history is made not just by presidents, but by the families who lived there. Even today, the East Room sometimes carries the scent of the past. Before the White House, the land belonged to David Burns, a Scottish farmer. When the government bought his land for the new capital, Burns was reluctant to sell. Legend says his spirit never left, still protesting the loss of his family farm. Staff and security have reported hearing a mysterious voice declare, "I'm Mr. Burns," especially in the Oval Office and Yellow Oval Room. President Harry Truman even wrote about hearing footsteps and feeling a presence. Unlike other White House ghosts, Burns isn't tied to the presidency, but to the land itself. His story is a reminder that before the White House was a symbol of power, it was someone's home. The ghostly voice of David Burns echoes the history beneath the mansion. His presence is a protest from the past, a stubborn spirit unwilling to let go. Burns's haunting is about loss and memory, not fame or politics. He represents the layers of history that make the White House unique. Every time someone hears his name whispered, they're reminded of the people who came before. The land's original owner still wants to be heard. In the White House, even the ground has a story to tell. Andrew Jackson, the fiery 7th president, is said to haunt the Queen's bedroom. Guests and staff have reported cold spots, angry laughter, and even the sound of stomping feet. Mary Todd Lincoln claimed to hear Jackson cursing in the halls, as if still fighting old political battles. His ghost is loud and forceful, just like the man himself. Some staff refuse to work alone in the room, convinced of his presence. Jackson's spirit seems tied to the room's powerful memories, love, loss, and leadership. His haunting isn't about sorrow, but about a personality too strong to fade away. The energy he brought to the presidency still echoes through the halls. Jackson's ghost is a reminder that some legacies refuse to rest. In the White House, history's most stubborn spirits linger. Abraham Lincoln's ghost is the White House's most famous resident. Lincoln led the nation through the Civil War and suffered personal tragedy within these walls. After his assassination, many believe his spirit returned to the home he knew so well. Lincoln's tall figure is often seen in the Lincoln bedroom, gazing out the window or sitting on the bed. First Lady Grace Coolidge, Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands, and Winston Churchill all reported encounters with Lincoln's ghost. Churchill famously greeted the apparition, only for Lincoln to smile and vanish. Lincoln's presence is described as thoughtful and somber, not frightening. He is said to appear during times of national crisis, as if offering comfort to those in power. Eleanor Roosevelt often felt his presence while working late in the Lincoln bedroom. Lincoln's ghost is a symbol of the burdens of leadership and the sacrifices made for the nation. His spirit is a constant comforting reminder of the past. The stories of his haunting connect us to the weight of history. Lincoln's ghost is not just a legend, it's a part of the White House's living memory. His presence lingers, especially when the nation faces difficult times. The White House is more than a home. It's a place where history, and its ghosts, never truly leave. Lincoln's spirit remains, watching over America's leaders. White House ghost stories aren't just old legends, they're backed by credible witnesses. Presidents, first ladies, world leaders, and staff have all reported strange encounters. Mary Todd Lincoln, Grace Coolidge, and Eleanor Roosevelt all described ghostly experiences. President Truman wrote about hearing knocks and footsteps, convinced the ghosts of past presidents lingered. Queen Wilhelmina and Winston Churchill's encounters with Lincoln's ghost add international credibility. Even White House staff have reported unexplained noises, cold spots, and doors moving on their own. During the Reagan years, the president's dog refused to enter the Lincoln bedroom, barking at something unseen. These stories, recorded in letters and diaries, form an unofficial history of the White House. The consistency of these accounts makes the hauntings hard to dismiss. In the most powerful house in the world, the past is always present. The White House ghosts are more than spooky tales. They're living links to America's past. These spirits aren't random. They're the nation's most important figures, still shaping the story. Abigail Adams's laundry, Jackson's temper, Lincoln's sorrow, each haunting carries a piece of history. These stories make the past immediate and personal, reminding us that leaders were real people with hopes and fears. The White House is a stage for American drama, and some actors never left. Ghost stories help us remember, passing history from one generation to the next. They're a form of oral history, preserving the human side of power. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, these tales transform the White House from a monument into a home. The spirits are guardians of memory, ensuring the past is never forgotten. They invite us to look beyond politics and see the people who shaped the nation. The ghosts of the White House whisper the secrets of history to those who listen. In America's most famous house, the past is always just a heartbeat away.